everybody, my name is Linda Breathnach and I am a lecturer and programme leader with PCI College for the certificate programme. I'm delighted to introduce you all to Sarah Jane Cleary. Sarah Jane is just finished first year in the BSc programme, but you are also a student on the certificate programme. So I just want to ask you a few questions for people who are considering taking up the certificate course, just so that they have an understanding of what your experience was like. So thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Great. So Sarah Jane, why were you interested in pursuing this certificate course?
I think after kind of going through my own mental health journey and was able to kind of get through that and help myself and experience psychotherapy and counselling firsthand, I kind of realised that I was at a place where maybe I could actually study it as well and kind of give back what I had been given through the services, if that makes sense. So I kind of thought my own experience wasn't obviously enough, so I thought if I could kind of get a feel for what the training would be like and the degree. So and I knew the first steps were the certificate course. So that was the plan.
Very good. So giving back was something that was important to you, having gone through your own experience. And then, like, what sort of expectations did you have of the cert, and did it meet those expectations, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had pretty excited expectations about it anyway. Just the little bits I knew about kind of some theorists and stuff, I found really, really interesting. But I was still a bit unclear about all the different kind of schools, even though I had been to therapy myself. I found a lot of them. I suppose I thought it was kind of like the foundation for the degree, and kind of just getting a taster of everything, like the personal development and the skills and theory. But then I suppose when I did it, I didn't realize how much you kind of learn about yourself along it as well. It's not just learning therapist, it's also learning just a lot about yourself, which was great. So I kind of found out, like, even at the end of it, if I didn't want to go on to be a therapist, I still got so much out of it. It wasn't like a waste at all. There's a lot of self-learning as well as the theory stuff.
And then how did you find the overall class experience? Because there is that extra bit of the personal development and all of that with your fellow students and your lectures and the overall class experience. How was that for you?
It was good. As I said, I learned a lot about myself. I hadn't really been in a group kind of college dynamic and as such for a long time. And I did find I was a lot shyer than I realized, because it had been a while. But that was okay. And I found that the bond between the class grew really, really quickly, even though it was only once a week class. And I think maybe it was to do with the kind of the personal development, almost vulnerability element. It kind of just brought people really closer quicker, as well as just having a lot of, like, there was still a lot of crack and fun and lightheartedness amongst the class as well. And the lecturers were great too. They really brought the theory and everything and all the different elements alive. And they really care about the students as well. I think because it's a smaller college, like, all the lecturers really got to know each individual student. Again, even though it was only once a week, like, they knew everyone's names, like, instantly. It was crazy. And I really, like, sought out to check on the students as well. So that was really, really nice.
What do you think you got from the course, or what would you say your key outcomes were from the course?
The key outcomes, there's definitely a lot. It definitely gave me a lot of clarification about whether I wanted to go on to do the degree or not.
Yeah.
And as I said, even if I didn't go on, I still learned so much about myself, as well as kind of what goes into making a therapist and what you need. So I think, clarification and motivation was huge as well among that, just of the drive of now wanting to go on to do the degree and pursue it as a career.
And just that word motivation really struck me. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but when you say motivation from it, what helped you to feel more motivated, do you think?
I think it was just seeing how it all works and how it's all done. I suppose practicing with some of the classes, we would practice the therapy and client dynamic, and I think I don't know, it just I don't know, just motivated some part of me that was like, yeah, this is what I want to do, and just
You had a real taste for it.
Exactly, finally understanding what exactly goes into this, because a lot of it can seem a bit abstract if you don't really.
Yeah.
Or it can be like, I don't know, from the movies or something. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I understood what it was about, and that just just really motivated me that I wanted to do it.
You got kind of more real life type of insights into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so the last question really is just about, if somebody is watching in and planning on doing this course, would you have a key piece of advice for that person?
Honestly, I think I would just say go for it. I mean, it's not a huge it's not as big of a commitment as the degree would be, or as much to consider. I think if you have the time and can fit it in for once a week, you just get so much out of it, and there's not as much, there's no academic side of it or big assignments or anything like that. So it really is like you just kind of show up and listen and learn and be among really wonderful people who all have a kind of similarity in that they're all really empathetic and lovely. I don't know. It's kind of, you just get a lot out of it, to learn about yourself and about how it all works.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Sarah Jane. It's been lovely to talk to you, and I hope anybody out there watching has taken some real inspiration from listening to you. So thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.